Let me fill you in on a few things that you're missing. Let me teach you 2 foot hooks. Suppose your leg is to the front of you, but it's so low that you want the toe touching the floor. You need a way to say that. Right. My leg is forward low, and I add an upward thrusting hook like that that says toe is touching. That's called a toe hook. On the right side of the staff, it looks like this. On the left side of the staff, it looks like this. Let me show you on both sides. Toe touching, step forward, left foot, toe touching. There's a second foot hook that looks like this. Has a little line coming out of it. That means the ball of the foot is touching. What I have now looks like, can anybody do that? What a highly visible demonstration. Stand up and come out here. Okay. And yadam-bum, yadam-bum, yadam-bum. Right? The leg is forward and bent, but the ball of the foot is on the floor. Thanks. All right, in this modern jazz study, take a look at your starting position. Standing on which foot? Left. Right foot is where? Ball of the foot, but in what direction? In where? In place. So it's right underneath you, bent. Right. Something like this. Standing on your left foot, right foot's in place, under you, ball of the foot touching the floor, but it's in the gesture column, so I have no weight on this leg. It's a symbol for turning. The symbol for turning is a parallelogram, like this. If the symbol points up to the right, clearly you're turning to the right. So this is a right turn sign. And the opposite true here. It's pointing up to the left, so this is a left. Hello. Left turn. Okay, tell me what's happening here. How many feet am I turning on? The turn sign, if it's placed over both support columns, means you're turning on both feet. Which way am I turning on both feet? The right. Whew. I don't know how much yet. We'll know how much in a minute. What am I doing? Turning on the left foot to the left. Step forward and then turn to the right on your right foot. To tell how much to turn, there are pins put in the turn sign that are easy to read because they work just like the hands of a clock. Think of this as pointing to 12 o'clock. There are generally 4 pins that are used. We'll learn others later on when we get extremely smart. Okay. If you're turning to the right and you turn this much, how much of a turn have you done? A quarter of a turn. So if there's a pin like this in a right turn sign, it means you turn to the right a quarter. Does this make sense to you? Right? Here I am. If I turn this far around, I've turned a quarter of a turn. I'm standing here, and I would have gotten a quarter of the way around. if I get this far around, this pin would say you've turned a half, right, a half of a turn. So I'm turning to the right, and the pin goes like this. As I've gotten all the way, I've gotten to 6 o'clock, I've turned a half of a turn. All the way around to 9 o'clock, I've done 3/4 of a turn. And if you get all the way around and the pin is facing back up to 12 o'clock, how much of a turn? A full turn. Okay? So this would be turn all the way around. This is a full turn. Get all the way around and back to where you started. So this is 1/4 to the right, 1/2, 3/4 to the right, and a whole turn. Okay. Now, Rivka got a step ahead of us and was quite correct in saying that when you're turning to the left, the pins are going to go around the other way, right? Because you're starting here, so you're turning to the left. So if I get around this far turning to the left, I've turned a 1/4, right? And a half. Half is the same no matter which way you're turning. 3/4 to the left and back to a full turn to the left. So what have I got here? Half turn to the left. So this will be a 1/4 left, a half, 3/4 left, and a whole turn.
I mean, left or right direction would be indicated by the direction sign.
Yes, by the shape of the turn sign, right? It's the same thing as the direction symbols. The shape of the symbol tells you which way, which direction to go in. Then the pin tells you how far you go. Okay, so look at measure 2 in this dance. At the end of measure 2, you have a turn. Which way are you turning?
Halfway to the left on the right.
Good, you're doing a half turn to the left and you're doing it on your right foot. Okay, I want to get just the first 4 measures of this dance, and I'll give you one more. This is in English on your paper, but when you see a symbol like this outside the staff, a square, it stands for the room or the space or the stage. Can you find that box outside your starting position? There'll be a tack inside of it that stands for the dancer. Where that tack points out says which direction the dancer is facing on the stage. So in the starting position, this dancer is facing stage right, correct. If you were starting facing the audience, that stage pin would look like this, right? You start facing the front of the stage. If you started facing upstage with your back to the audience, which way would the tack go? Yes, down. Right? Face upstage. Your back is to the audience. You're facing the back of the room. Okay. First 4 measures. 5, a 6, a 7, go. A yappa tita yappa tita yatta tita yatta yappa pipa yatta tita yatta tita yum bam. Good. And end up facing the front. All right, do it once more, just those 3 counts. Ready, go. Across, aside, aside. All right. Now, notice those little dotted lines? They're always a clue in a score that something's going to repeat itself in the choreography, and they have not used repeat signs, because it would have interrupted the flow of the dance. It's within a phrase, something is going to repeat itself. There's a pattern. Okay, so look at the next 3 counts, and here we go, right? Across, aside, aside. Look at the next 2 counts, across, aside. Okay, good. I don't sense an enormous amount of plie. I see it written all over the page. I see nothing but solidly colored in symbols, but I don't see it too much in performance. What again will it do for the size of your steps to be in plie? Increase them! Okay, what general style are you reading this dance in? You look at the top of the page, it says jazz. Okay, so you might want to do something in your general demeanor that suggests other than the A and P. Okay, all right. spread out. A 5, a 6, a 7, and a yup-a-dee-da, 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 yum-ba-dee-yup-a-dee, yup-a-dee-da, yup-a-dee-da, man across the side, across the side, across side. Good. Okay, spread out and figure out what's between the next set of dotted lines in measure 7. You have 5 counts here. And 1, 2. Great, that's wonderful. Good, thanks. Okay, let's try from measure 12. Ready? 5, a 6, a 7, and a cross, side, side, cross, side, step back, and facing stage left. How much of a turn you got there? A quarter of a turn. Measure 14. Here, I'm going to count for you. You're just going to sight read this. You ready? Measure 14. Give you 4 for nothing. 1, a 2, a 3, you go. A back, 2, a back, 2, a back, front, front, 2. Front, front, front. What part of the foot touching the floor? Ball. Ball of the foot. Good. Okay. Measure 15. Show me what that should look like. And remember your timing. That's it. That's it. So you get a little slink in there. It's not back, front, hold. Right? Back, front, ooh. It's going to take 2 counts to do that step. So it's just a little detail, but there's some style in there. Okay, from measure 14 again. Ready? And you're going back, 2, a back, front, front. 1, 2, 3, bang. Good. Ready? Turn, step back. 1, 2, a back, front, 2, a 1, 2, 3, tap.